Alright people, so today we're going to talk about the resurrection of Madara Uchiha, because in this week's manga chapter 559, Madara Uchiha, the real Madara Uchiha, has been resurrected, and since this is the real Madara Uchiha, we don't know who in the world is this guy behind the mask, but but today, right now, we're going to talk about Madara Uchiha and what I expect him to do in the war and some predictions. So first things off, I want to say that Madara Uchiha, he does not have the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. He doesn't have it right now because he's been resurrected, and it wouldn't make sense because his eyes that he would have that contained the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan were his brother's eyes. And even though they're brothers and they're close enough with DNA, they're not the exact same DNA match. So it wouldn't work because with Impure Resurrection Jutsu, Kabuto would have to take somebody's DNA and then do the whole ritual thing with the living vessel and whatnot, and it wouldn't make sense for him to have the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan because the eyes aren't his eyes, it's his brother's eyes, and they don't have the same exact DNA, so it wouldn't work. And if Madara did have the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, then Kishimoto would be breaking his own logic. And then if that's the case, then we would see Danzo being revived with Shizu's eyes and all those Sharingans on his arm and the first Hokage's DNA. But of course that doesn't make sense. So don't expect to see Madara using the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. And the next thing I wanted to talk about is the jutsus that he'll be using. I really don't want to see Madara spamming the hell out of the Sharingan. I don't want to see Amaterasu, Susanoo. I've seen so much of that from Itachi and Sasuke. It just gets boring to this point. We've seen too much like Sharingan techniques. Like I want to see old school fire style techniques from Madara Uchiha, like legitimately old school fire style, because the Uchiha clan, they were the ones who created the fire style fireball technique. And honestly, I want to see like legitimate strong ass fire style techniques. Like say Madara like uses a jutsu and summons a giant ass dragon of fire. Like I want to see jutsus at that level. And it would be really cool to see some nice fire style instead of just the generic fireball or the Phoenix Flare. Well, that's the filler name of it, but Itachi used it with the Shuriken, and this is the basic fire style jutsu we've seen. I want to see legitimate good fire style, and some other secret techniques because since he was able to go one-on-one with the first Hokage, but yeah, and then also I want him to wreck shop in this war. I want him to go through every division basically just owned, in every one of his battles. And I don't want him to be taken out easily. Actually want to see this guy more in the chapters. Like the only way he would be defeated is like everybody came together, did their ultimate ninjutsus, and just attacked Madara. Because if Madara gets taken out in like 5 chapters, then that's bullshit. That not even Uchiha Madara can even turn the tide of the war to Kabuto's and Madara's or the guy in the mask side of the war. It would not make sense. And I want him to kill somebody. Just somebody in general. I don't know who, but maybe just kill like 1 or 2 people. It would be good to see, deaths finally, like major deaths, because I know that each side has lost like nearly half of their forces, but most of that has been filler for the ally side. Like we haven't seen any main supporting characters like either die or be severely injured to the point where they can't even be a ninja anymore. But I want to see like somebody getting literally owned by Madara Uchiha. And yeah, that's pretty much my quick thoughts on Madara Uchiha. And also, just a quick note from this chapter, just to let you guys know about with the Sage of 6 Paths, because I was looking at this chapter and I noticed that Naruto, when he's in his Jinchuriki form, like he looks more like the Sage of 6 Paths with the necklace and like the design pattern. But also, when I noticed that on top of his head, like the hair in front of his head, it's like it points out like horns. And if you guys haven't remembered, that the Sage Six Paths, he did have horns because he was the first in Jinchuriki. So this like a little something you guys should know about. When the Sage Six Paths, that information reveals more about him and whatnot, and the relationship between him and Naruto. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Just my quick thoughts on what I expect from Madara Uchiha. Really hoping for some good 5-style techniques from this guy, since he was the leader. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Leave you guys thoughts on Madara Uchiha. What will he further do in the war, and your predictions on who might die. and the allied forces. So subscribe if you did like this video, comment, rate, and I'll see you guys later.